On a scale of 1 to 10, you can't pick 7, starting with you. Own looks.
Okay.
1 to 10.
Some days I'm like, oh, I can't.
Wait, actually, I want to do something a little bit different for this.
Okay.
I want to do it a little different. On the count of 3, you're all going to do this at the same time. On your hands, you're going to show you're just going to lift up your fingers, okay? At the exact same time. So this would be 10, this would be 5, this would be 7, however you want to do it.
What if you have a point number?
You got to round
No.
up or down to whatever you think is appropriate.
Okay.
You can't pick 7. Okay.
Damn.
All right. You guys all got it? All got in your head? All right. 3, 2, 1. Hold them up. Don't change them. Okay, so 6, 6, 6, 8, 6, 6, 8, 6. Wait, so 8, 8. Everybody else was 6, right?
Yes.
8, 8, 6. Oh, Q, what about you? 5?
Yeah.
Okay, I give myself a 5. Also, wow, okay, pretty reasonable. I want to hear from the 2 most attractive women on the panel. 8 and 8. Can you boost the audio a bit? You could tell us.
Yeah.
So, do you disagree with the other women on the panel? Like, do you think they rated themselves too low? What do you think?
No, I think that you guys are very like humble, and you're rating yourselves a little low, I'd say. I think that maybe you could be a little bit higher for sure. But I mean 6, I feel like, so that would be like a little over average.
Yeah.
Like I think that you're prettier than that, That's what I'd say.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay, sure. Okay. And then also your thoughts, like, do you think the women rated themselves too low, or do you think about right?
However they feel. It's our own opinion on ourselves.
Okay. Does your guys' anybody's answers change if the question changes to not what you rate yourself, but if there's a room of 1,000 men and they're rating you, would you hold up a different number? Would you think it's higher? Would you think it's lower? Same. Okay, so 1,000 guys, average would give you 8, and then...
No, I'd say 10 in that case. And I would say it because men just... Okay, you are going to say... I know that you're going to say that I'm not being humble when I say this, but men obsess over me, so...
Are they all from LA?
Wait, hold on.
Right.
Hold on. I'm gonna recap it. You tell me if I have it correct. You rated yourself an 8.
Yeah.
Okay. Men, if we were to put you in a room with 1,000 men and we averaged out their answers, those men would give you 10.
Yes.
This is actually a first for this, because typically women will give themselves a higher rating, but when they say, well, if men were rating me, I'd maybe a point down or whatever. So, but you would be a perfect 10 out of 10. And then I'm curious though, if you were not in a room alone with 1,000 men, but all these other women here were also in the room, would the men also rate them 10s too, or would they rate them lower than you?
No, I think that they probably would rate them as like 9 or 10. Yeah. Because I think that men are very, like, they will have, I mean, look, like, I think that men their standards are lower than women's are in many cases when it comes to physical appearance. Yeah. I mean, I know that you're probably going to get offended by that.
Oh, I'm not offended. I'm far from offended. I'm a little bit amused, but...
No, I mean, men, there are plenty of men out there who will have sex with, like, any woman.
But let me ask you this question,
woman.
and we're gonna cut right to the chase. Do men only have sex with women who they think are 10s?
No.
Yeah, good point. Yeah. So
just because a man has sex with you, trust
he would.
me,
But in
he
the
doesn't
moment,
think...
but in the moment, like if he were like asked that, like, you know,
Would
in
he-
a room with like 1,000 men or something. Like he would probably like simp, and he'd be like, "Oh, you're a
No.
10," you know.
If the circumstances were that
Not all men.
the
would do
questioner
that, but
was like beyond
many of them would.
yeah, maybe there are some men
Yeah.
who would like genuinely simp, but if
Yeah.
if these men are instructed like, hey, give us your honest rating.
Wait, I'm curious to know what obsessing over you entails. Like, what do you mean when you say men obsess over you?
I get like stalks, like
You get rings
a
thrown
lot.
at you?
Like
You get
stalked a
stalked?
lot. Yeah, I get
Stalks?
stalked a lot.
Stalked.
Yes,
Stalked.
I'm not being articulate.
crime?
Yeah, yeah, right.
Followed?
No, I do, and you know, it's
By guys that you know or strangers?
both.
Strangers
Yeah,
stalk you?
I don't. Yeah, men that I've never met them, but they see. Yeah, I know you're laughing at me, but
I mean, I
No,
don't
it's not that.
I
I'm
mean,
thinking
It
about
says-
strangers stalking you.
like desperate guys, like guys that have nothing else going on. Obviously,
so
they
wait,
invest
your
their
rating
time.
is based off of desperate men?
No,
that's a
it's
low-
not
that's a low
entirely.
number.
Not entirely based off of desperate men, but you know, most guys out there, they're not gonna get the woman that they
But
want.
wait, so the men
Small
are
portion.
the men are delusional though, because you're like, hey, I'm an 8, but all these men think I'm a 10.
Well, yeah, because I think that my intelligence actually is more important than my looks.
But we're talking about looks.
Yes, I know, but
Your
I'm saying
intelligence.
that you know, I'm always trying to work on myself, you know, and my physical appearance, you know, is part of that. I don't want to sound cocky and say like, you know, that I'm a 10.
Wait, so
but-
you do think you're a 10? You just don't want to sound cocky.
No,
Oh,
because
okay.
that's not like, I want to always be working on like improving myself. If I were to just sit here and say that I'm a 10, then like there's nothing to work on, right?
But just clarification.
Like my physical appearance.
1,000 men in a room, they're just rating you on your looks. The answer is 10, correct?
Yeah, I'd say so. Because
Wait, is this like a hubris answer or is this a genuine answer?
no,
Like legit.
men
this is not,
think that
This is not like a I'm being confident thing. Like this is a genuine answer.
yes. No, like I know that it's the reverse of what you've normally heard.
It is the
Yes.
yeah. Typically, women will acknowledge. Oh, if it's men rating me, oh, if they say they're a 7, oh, okay, maybe like 5 or 6, something like that.
Like I
I've
don't know,
never heard
men
the
just
reverse.
think that I am like
But-
worth obsessing over. Like
So
many of them
I'm
do.
gonna.
Yes.
I actually will just go ahead and grant that absolutely. Are there some men who are obsessed with you and think you're really attractive? Sure, probably. Have you had stalkers? Absolutely. I don't think your physical attractiveness precludes you, or lack thereof precludes you from having stalkers. Like that typically tends to manifest itself more just not even necessarily about how you look, but an established relationship typically with somebody. Although it sounds like you also have total strangers stalking you because they see you and they're like, I'm just going to stalk her. I think of stalkers typically like you dated somebody for a month and then like they will not take no for an answer and then they're going to harass you for like a year.
Yeah, I mean, you could look at it that way too.
So
I think
you're
that it
literally
could have
going to
many
Trader
meanings.
Joe's and then like you
Yeah.
get stalkers.
Yeah. And men always look at me. And that's not stalking, but I'm saying like I constantly receive male attention. Constantly.
I don't dispute that you. I don't dispute that most women receive an abundance of male attention, be it romantic or sexual. I'm still just confused. Like, so you're saying because I receive this amount of male attention, it must mean I look this good. Is that the logic? I'm just
Yeah.
trying to. Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. You know what?
I'm ready to be humbled.
That, you know what's crazy? That girl with the tooth thing, she gets a lot of male attention too. I mean, her DMs are fucking crazy, bro. She's a
That's a
she's
burn.
a 10. She's a
Oh my god.
No, but she would be on your level because she also gets a lot of male attention, right? Mm-hmm. So do you think she's a 10? Because like, let me ask you a question, right?
No, men tell me. Men have told me my whole.
Stop. Hold
Okay.
on. Let me try to walk it through. So here's the logic. Here's the logic I'm following. This is your claim. I'm a 10 because I've had this proportion of male attention, right? I've had stalkers, I've had all this sexual and romantic attention from men. If that girl, if I could prove to you that that girl that I showed you earlier received just as much of these same, or the exact same attention as you did, you would then have to agree that she's also a 10, right? Because if that's your metric for I am a 10, I receive X amount of romantic and sexual attention, anybody else who receives that exact same amount of attention also has to be a 10. Is that?
Yeah.
Okay. So is she a 10 then? You that would be the logical conclusion.
Yeah, I mean, that's the logic that you're arriving at. You know, I hadn't really thought about it in the depth that you have, you know.
Sure.
But I think that, you know, I mean, if you looked at it from that perspective, then you could argue.
But and what if I showed you a woman who you could definitively make a statement she was a 1, but this woman received just as much or more sexual and romantic attention as you, but she's a 1? Mm-hmm. Would you then have to? How would you reconcile?
Well, I don't really look at it as just the attention that I've received is why. Like, it's not that variable alone. You know what I mean? It's many things.
So what?
I've been told my whole life that I'm like physically beautiful all the time by my family members.
You gotta throw that in the trash.
I know. I should. I know.
My mom told me I'm the most handsome man.
I know. You make a good point. You make a good point. I know what
Brad Pitt looks like.
You make a good point.
So
I don't have trouble. I don't have trouble either. Like getting.
So, but men tell you that.
Men have told me that many times. Yeah.
But like, here's the thing, right? Has a man ever lied to you to get laid?
It did happen, yeah.
Just that one time. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think? How about maybe not with you, but generally speaking, do you think men will try to flatter women to get laid?
Yeah, they will.
Will they compliment women to get laid?
Yeah, they will.
Will they lie to get laid?
Yes, they will. I'm not going to sit here, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not rating myself. I think that I can always work on my physical appearance. Like, I think that it's, you know what I'm saying? So, but I have been told, like I said, by many different men that I'm physically beautiful.
Are you happy?
And they could be lying, but, you know.
I'll let you in just a
Michael
sec.
Jones
You know what I'm saying?
$200.
Thank you, Michael Jones.
Many women are considered to men to be mopeds. Fun to have a ride, but you wouldn't want to be caught with by your friends.
Oh.
Some women on this panel fall into this category.
Look, really quick, and I'll let you come in.
I love the fact that
Thank
I'm
you,
getting
Michael
roasted.
Jones, for the TTS. Appreciate it, man. Here's the thing: is I don't think it would go over well, like, to not tell a woman she's attractive, and if you're trying to date her or get her into bed, like. And I don't know if you ask the men, maybe you don't, but like, even if a woman asked you, like, oh, rate me, even if she asked you, like, rate me honestly, I don't think it's like the best move to be like, you're kind of average looking and you could stand to lose a bit of weight. Like, that's not, I'm not speaking about you, by the way, I'm just saying in general. And it's not going to go over well. Like, as a man, you're going to have to flatter a woman a little bit. Mm-hmm. Like, it's just not the polite thing to do.
To not flatter them? You're saying?
Yeah, like it's not going to go over well. Like, instead of giving you a compliment of, oh, you're so beautiful, the guy's like, wow, you are so unremarkable.
That's a good point. Yeah. I mean, you're so ugly or average, or you never say.
I'm such a lucky guy to be dating this completely average, unremarkable woman. You're the best, babe. Or you're not even best. You're just average. You can't do that as a guy. There's some degree of flattery.
No, yeah, of course there is.
Like, I've had women say, oh my God, Brian, you're so handsome. I'm like, shut up. Calm down, lady.
They're just trying to get in your pants, huh?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I know what you guys are up to.
I know you're
you
swimming
women,
in pussy. I know.
Wait, what? I didn't say that. All you women, though, all you think about is one thing, and it's disgusting, okay? All you girls want, you want, like, sometimes, you know, Q, like, they just, sometimes you just want to cuddle, but they're trying to flirt. Like, that's crazy.
That is not true.
I
will
just want to
pick
talk
cuddles
sometimes.
over the
I'm a guy. I just want to talk.
Facts.
Why can't we just talk? Why can't we just talk and get to know each other a little bit? Y'all always come over. You just want one thing, and then I feel used. Like, I feel used, and like I'm just a piece of meat, and you don't care about me, and I'm trying to talk to you, and you're not really listening. You're just wondering when you're going to get some dick, and I'm just trying to talk. I'm trying to have a connection.
Go through it sometimes.
And
I
all
know
y'all
you watching.
All y'all want is sex. It's ridiculous.
It's crazy.
Y'all crazy.
Let me tell you about the new dinosaur that was discovered today. Like,
Can we talk about?
yeah.
That would be interesting.
Low-key, you kind of
That's like the Lil
sounded feminine
Dicky
for a
song.
minute. For a
That's
minute,
all
you
I
just
am.
spoke
Pillow
what
talk.
women want. You just sounded like women. Sorry.
Yeah.
Other than the
I
dinosaur
just want
part.
somebody who can get to know me.
That's
Like,
what she
Guys
said.
never
Me.
talk like that ever.
I want a girl. Like, God, y'all, man.
They never
Well,
talk
why,
like that.
so you
Why haven't you
want,
found one in your opinion?
Huh?
Why haven't you found one in your opinion? If you haven't found that.
I don't think you're a
Especially
marrying
that one girl,
monogamous
you know,
type.
he'd date her.
I think you're a wild man and you just haven't accepted it. You need like many women.
Huh?
You're not like, you're not gonna have a wife, are you? No, you're not.
What do you mean? What does that mean?
Like,
I don't even know what that
Prenup.
is.
like I feel like you're like you should be more sexually like open. Like you should just like
No.
have sex with who you want, right? I mean, would you do that? Like, would you live that lifestyle, or you're looking for monogamy?
I think it depends, like, who you want to attract. You know, like,
Right.
I think
Yeah.
Brian wants to attract a respectable woman, so that's kind of how he, like, portrays himself.
Yeah.
You know, kind of like, I want to get to know you, you get to know
Oh,
me,
yeah.
kind of thing. And it just depends, I feel like, who you're trying to attract.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Just
Yeah,
agrees.
that's great. What were we talking about? Oh, looks. We're doing the looks thing. Okay. Wait, here. I want all the girls to rate me. I won't be offended. You be brutally honest. I will not be mad. I won't insult you back or anything like that. Scale of 1 to 10. Go ahead.
12.
Oh, come on. Come on. Here, be honest. Come on. Looks. Just looks.
I would say 6. Also
All right.
6.
Based on your astrology sign, if you're a Taurus,
Just
I guess
looks.
it's
Just
6.
Just looks. Just looks. No, Taurus
6.
shit. Okay.
7.
7. Okay.
Probably a 7 or an 8.
All right.
6.5.
6.5.
7.
7. Okay.
5.
Okay. Cool. Wait. So I would be. What did you give me?
7.
7. Okay,
Yeah.
and you're an 8, but men think you're a 10. So wait, you guys are settling for me. Damn. Fuck.
Yeah, you're average.
Here I thought.
You have an okay face, but if you went to the gym, like,
Well, we could both
That'd be-
use that.
ooh, thanks.
I'm just saying. I'm white. She had told me I'm a little chubby.
No,
I mean,
you're right though. We both
she's
need
fit.
to go to the
She's fit.
gym.
Wait, what?
We'll go to the gym together.
Should we do a side-by-side fit check?
Yeah,
Uh,
we should. Okay.
deep into your own eyes. I don't know. Why can't if people are average, just be like, yeah, I'm average. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I don't. Yeah.
It's
You
also.
know what I mean?
Ooh, thank you. It also I think it has like to do with whether or not it's getting reinforced. Like if someone is like telling the person that they're gorgeous, like all the time, or a group of people are, a series of people, then, I mean, they could be the ugliest person on the planet. Like it doesn't, if it's getting reinforced, the idea, then they're going to continue to think it.
But I feel like
So.
there's a difference here between men and women, because I think a lot of women will conflate sexual interest with long-term romantic or dating interest. Because men will sleep with a girl who we're not even all that physically attracted to. I'm not saying all men do this, but
Yeah.
like men will just, like, if a woman makes herself sexually available,
Yeah.
a man will have sex with, like,
Yeah.
here's the scenario. If a man is in a room with like a woman who's like 1, 2, 3 points below him, average. She could even be average looking. They're in a bedroom. She wants to have sex with him. Nobody has to know. There's no chance of pregnancy, no chance of STD. A lot of guys are just gonna be like, okay, I'll do it. Fuck it. I don't think the same applies if a woman's alone in a room. There's no chance of pregnancy, no chance of STD. He's like definitely less attractive than you are. You would consider him like kind of unattractive. I don't think most women like, and nobody ever finds out. Your friend doesn't find out, and nobody knows. I don't think a lot of women go for it. I don't think a lot of women, okay, fuck, yeah, sure, we'll fuck.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah.
Very profound sex difference. But yeah, that's like the thing. It's like men think about sex all the time. So if like some woman, like you just said, just to reiterate it, if a woman is like, I am open for sex, then like that's a whole line of men. They're going to line up. It's not the same vice versa, you know?
Yeah. Because there's another difference here. So men sleep with who they, women sleep with who they want, men sleep with who they can. So what does this how does this impact the dating landscape? So as a guy, if I sleep with a girl, I think there's a really high probability I can get her into a relationship. But as a woman, if you sleep with a guy, I think that probability is way lower. Way lower.
Yeah.
So you're saying from her perspective, or you're saying that? Sorry, could you repeat what you just said?
So if I can sleep with a girl, I have a pretty strong level of confidence. I can then take her and bring her into a relationship, like very high confidence level. Not always, but like pretty high. Whereas a woman, if you just have sex with a guy fairly quickly, I don't think that there's a high probability of a woman with a strong guarantee of being able to get a given guy into a relationship.
The way I think about it, it's like a reward system. So it's like system. Because men, like, sex is so rewarding to them. So if you it is.
Is it though?
It's like, so if
y'all
you
are the ones who like can have multiple orgasms and
but like
fucking legs twitching. Like,
on a neurological level, it is. It's like it's so
more rewarding for men.
Yeah, she's right.
Yeah,
they release more dopamine.
Yeah. So it's like that's why.
Doesn't it release more like oxytocin or whatever?
In women.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, but yeah. I mean, the thing is there have been studies done on this, and that the hypothalamus and the amygdala are activated in male brains. That doesn't necessarily happen in female brains. We could go, into that. But, there's a sex difference in terms of arousal. It's been like well documented. So men are more stimulated by these, I don't want to repeat myself, but these visual sexual stimuli are more reinforcing to men than they are to women. So I think what that may suggest is that men are just very easily, if I'm being honest with you, men are just, they're very prone to being on this like reward system of if they do something, then they'll get sex. If they do something, then they'll get sex. It's not really the case with women.
Yeah, it's the anticipation.
I actually
it's not.
You know what?
No, but
maybe you're right, but in my own experience, I flip that shit around. Oh, you did the laundry for me? You get sex. Oh,
but
you cooked? Boom. I flip that shit around.
Definitely not the only man to do that, but it doesn't.
I flip that shit.
Unless
it doesn't always work in a sense. So woman isn't always looking for that.
I know.
That's not really a reward for a woman. It's fun. Don't get me wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, because
you gotta find a guy who does it.
Well, because the reward is the reward is in the orgasm.
Yeah, so
the reward is in the orgasm. The orgasm is reinforcing.
If it happens, right?
Yeah, no, I'm saying for men. Like men,
for men,
men orgasm a lot more than women do. The average woman doesn't orgasm that often. So the reward is in the orgasm. So if women orgasm as often as men do, then they would probably have more sex in theory. But it's just like when you have sex with a woman and you make her orgasm, she get crazy. And she want it all the time. I know. I got a girlfriend. But, it's always been that. Like, once a woman orgasms, because women don't orgasm that often, you find that the same effect occurs. She's experienced with that guy, and then she wants it from that guy because she knows that guy can make her orgasm.
Right. Yeah. So then you're saying that So then where would you say, just out of curiosity, like the sex differences?
The sex difference is one
in pinpoint it.
Well, it starts in the brain. The men pursue sex more because the part of the brain that's responsible for sexual initiating is larger in men. It's the medial preoptic area. So then that's where the drive for sex comes, and then testosterone reinforces that. Makes men even, like, if women take testosterone, their sex drives get higher. Like, that's been done. That study has been done as well. And then, of course, it's the orgasm. So there's a physiological response, a physical response, and a psychological. It's all the above. Men are just hardwired for sex because we want to procreate. We want to propagate our genes. And so we have to take advantage of every sexual opportunity almost that comes along, because we don't get sexual opportunities as often as women do. Like you said, you have men obsessing over you. I can tell you 99% of men don't have women obsessing over them.
I know they don't, and
so the stimulus for you is essentially you become more desensitized to it as a woman, because it's like, guys always come at me. But as a guy, you don't have that experience with women coming at you. So when they do, you're overstimulated. That's why a lot of guys, when they come into money or they come into fame, what do? They fuck a lot of women because they've never experienced that. They've never been exposed to that. That's the biological differences.
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, if you want to go back to, like, the perspective of evolutionary psychology, women historically have invested more in their offspring, so they're going to be a lot more selective. Also, you know, a woman is born with all the eggs she'll ever have, and that's a pretty sensitive thing. Whereas men, you know, they can disperse their sperm wherever and not invest. So that's probably, you know, the root, if you want to look at the genetic root, the biological root.
Sexual selection theory.
Right. Of why women are kind of more so looking for that investment compared to men, whereas men are a lot less selective. But I know that Brian disagrees with me.
he agrees. He's just talking about in his case. What's that? I said he just talking about in his case. He agrees generally.
Yeah. Here, we're gonna go to Twitch, guys. So going around the table, what would you want the minimum yearly income to be for your future husband?
What did I say? I think I said as long as it's not significantly less than me, or like average living comfortable expense.
Okay.
I put 65,000 because I thought I wanted a number, but just average enough to live really well.
Okay.
I said 75,000. Just kind of on like same terms, kind of like how I make.
You're a nurse, you make around there, so
yeah.
Okay.
I didn't put a number. I just said enough to take trips and live comfortably.
How often do you want to take trips?
I want to travel the world, like backpack across Europe. I want to go to Asia. I've gone all over America already.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. You want to go to Europe and Asia? Okay. And he pays for it?
No.
Or, okay.
No, just enough that I'm not paying for it solely.
So split it?
Yeah, okay. Absolutely.
What about you?
I didn't list a number either. I just said enough to afford your bills, like live comfortably. That's
well,
as long as you can sustain yourself and your lifestyle.
Okay, sure. What about you?
I really, really want children. I really want to be a stay-at-home mom. So I said anything that would make our family be okay and live comfortably would be okay with me.
Okay. How many kids do you want?
Everybody's think I'm crazy. I want 3 before I'm 30. And I'm 22.
I don't think that's crazy.
So I feel a little adamant.
Those are some rookie numbers. You got to pump that up.
Well, I know, but I'm afraid to scare people when I say that. So I just play it safe, and I'm like 3 before I'm 30. But really, I want a lot of kids.
Like 7. You want 7 kids?
I want 5. I always said about 5 to 7, but I want to seem insane.
Sure. I don't think it's insane. I think for the right guy, he'll be like, hell yeah. Because some girls are going to say, like, some guy might want a lot of kids, and some women might be like, I kind of only want 2 or 3.
And it's really crucial to me to have them in my 20s because I want to be agile enough to raise them and play sports with them and run around with them.
Yep.
So it's definitely something I'm very eager to accomplish.
Sure. Okay, what about you?
I'd say at least 100,000.
At least 100,000?
Yeah.
Okay. What about you?
I don't have a specific number, but same thing with as long as we have like a comfortable life.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Who here wants kids? Show of hands. Kids? No kids? No kids? Everybody else though,
Yeah.
kids. How many kids do you want?
2.
2?
I'll see.
4.
4. She doesn't want kids. What about you?
Probably 3 to 5.
3 to 5? 5 to 7?
1 or 2.
1 or 2?
And 2.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I know some of you said you don't really care, but I think, just the economic realities are, if you want to have kids, you do have to consider finances to some degree when you're picking a partner, I would imagine. But okay, 100,000. 100,000. How much do you make? Aren't you like a NEET? Aren't you like unemployed right now?
I am. I'm working on it. It's a long,
What does your shirt say? Predators? What?
Oh my God. Predators
Wait, what?
can't have
I
any
can't
of
believe
this. Do you see
How
this?
did I miss that?
How did you miss this? Because it's fading.
I see the stains too.
Oh, I know. Well, I'm sweating. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's sweat stains. Titty sweat. It's okay, I get that too.
I'm sure.
Well, I'm just, that's the way it's on the chest. What do you want me?
It is,
Okay.
I know.
Good times.
Yeah, okay.
Predators
Can't have any of this.
Why not?
Oh my God.
What's so special about it?
Like, isn't that just a given? Like, who would have a shirt like predators can get this? What?
Well, because some
It's like quite
men feel, and I'm not talking about either of you, some men feel entitled to women. They feel entitled. Well, they feel entitled to.
Yeah, but
they feel sexually entitled to
wouldn't
women.
the predator feel entitled regardless of your shirt?
Yes. Yeah.
I'm just gonna shirt and be like,
He's not gonna
I thought
stop.
about it, but
I know.
Yeah.
He's not gonna stop because I
don't
have
get
this,
it.
obviously.
But like, what are you trying to signal? I guess like, I don't get it.
Well, I see it as more of a, as more of like a joke, but because it's serious to me, but I understand that it's not going to be perceived in a serious manner by anybody who actually does think that way. Because there are men that I've dealt with, who feel very entitled to me.
I don't know if they are aware that they're predators.
Probably not. Yeah, and that's actually very interesting that you bring up that point. Because a lot of people think that many of these like predatory-minded people, male or female, they actually know that they're like predatory, and it's actually not the case a lot of the time. There's a whole psychological movement on that, but yeah. Movement in psychology, I should say.
I'm trying to like kind of wrap my head around it though. Like, what would be an equivalent shirt? Like, what would a guy wear that's like
gold diggers can't? Something. I don't know.
Obese gold digger, bitchy women can't get this.
Yeah.
Does it need to be stated?
Off limits, and then hashtag or hash marks of the criteria. So like off limits, gold diggers, obese women, old women,
You give like a whole list.
You guys like cougars.
Off limits. Yeah.
Predators.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. It's like men who, I feel like our society has this idea of like men that are like very assertive with other people. Like they're not. So the way I think of it is like guys that aren't frauds. Like I wouldn't consider them like predatory, even if they're very like assertive and like maybe they've had like a couple like mishaps with women or men or their men or something. Like they're not.
So they're gay?
No, like a guy who's like a guy who's like assertive and very powerful. Like that's not what I would consider to be a predator. I would consider a predator to be like somebody who like he's like basically, well, he's like like he just said, he's not aware that his behavior is like creepy. Like his behaviors are not matching his thoughts about about how he's like being.
But if he wasn't aware
perceived by the world.
Oh, I'm sorry. But if he wasn't aware that he was a predator, how would he know the shirt applied to him?
Right, exactly, yeah. That's why it's kind of a joke in my mind.
I just don't.
There's a whole.
I don't get
there's
it.
literature on this. I mean, there's narcissists. There's men that are narcissists that don't know that they're narcissists, and they're the ones that I actually don't like. It's not the men that like know they're narcissists And like,
so you'll date a narcissist if they know they're a narcissist?
Because they're more likely than not, they're not going to have this like cognitive dissonance going on where they are behaving in one way and they're thinking about themselves in another way. So for example, like those guys who think that they're, maybe this is a attack on how you perceive yourself, I don't know.
Wait,
but there are guys that there are guys who think that they're like these, that do everything to try to impress a girl. Like they basically simp for her, you know, and they'll do everything, just like follow her around. Like they're basically like simps.
What are you saying? I'm sorry. I'm like not
You're lost. Okay.
Wait, okay.
We'll drop the point.
No, but okay, there's male simps. What? Okay.
Because that's like what a predator is in my mind.
So what?
Like guys that do everything, guys that, yeah, no, I think so, yeah.
Hold on.
Not like a guy who's who's
define
creepy.
Predator.
Yeah.
Like a guy who is, okay, let me think of it this way.
It's on your shirt. Like I assume you know how to like.
Right.
What the word means.
What this is basically addressing, like I just said, is like this cognitive dissonance. There are certain people where their behaviors don't match their actions. Or I'm sorry, their behaviors don't match their actions. So they could be like violating boundaries, poor boundary recognition, constantly asserting control over like another person, like trying to control the person's life.
What's an example of that?
So the way that I think of it is like a guy who thinks that because he's a nice guy, he should get to sleep with a woman. And that's the only reason, because he's a nice guy that's done stuff for her. And
I mean, I think that's a bad mindset to have, but I don't know if that would make him a predator.
I agree.
Like, I think that's a bad attitude for him, but
I think
there could be other things about him that make him predatory. But just a guy who's like, I'm a nice, like that's a shit mindset to have, but I don't think that makes him predatory in and of itself.
Maybe that's your opinion.
Well, I don't just think
I think a lot of people agree with you.
There would have to be predatory behavior in conjunction with the mindset.
Right. So a guy might, so probably going to get a lot of backlash for this, but a guy might think that if he, and this may be associated with like people that this is going to make me sound bad. This is going to make me sound bad.
Go ahead.
But like I'm very attracted to intelligent men. So I don't really appreciate like intellectually deficient men. Mm-hmm. I think that that if they have like some kind of intellectual disability, that's like unattractive to me.
Sure.
That sounds prejudiced, but
yeah. Okay. What about the what about the?
But I think, I'm saying that it may be correlated. Like if you're
Wait, highly intelligent man is
no,
with
not those two, those two things.
Why are you bringing it up?
So
Please make it make sense.
Okay. So I think that it may be characteristic of somebody with an intellectual disability to not understand how their actions are impacting another person. And so as a result, they will behave in a certain way. Okay. And it may be an aggressive way. Now, this is going to make me sound like a really mean person, because there's people out there that, are kind of given this pass. Oh, they have like a disability. They can't help themselves. They have a cognitive problem.
Wait, hold on. Are you talking low IQ or full-on disability? Because are you talking like Down syndrome? Why? What? What are you talking about?
I mean somebody with a low IQ, yeah. But low IQ isn't necessarily a metric of intelligence. So it's not, I don't want to say IQ. I'd want to say somebody who isn't, and I don't know if you know that, but there are issues with IQ tests.
Go ahead.
But yeah, so there are people out there, let's say that I have been taught throughout my life, or something has happened where I, as a man, believe that if I steal items from a woman, for example, or I do something to hurt her, that she's still gonna like me. Or if I'm, if I have those cognitive distortions, if I have like this idea in my brain that if I do things to manipulate a female, that she's gonna like me. That's somebody who obviously something is going on in their brain where they think that they're a good person, when their behavior is suggesting otherwise. And there's a lot of examples of this in psychology. Let me give you an example. So let me give you an example. So,
Go ahead. Yeah.
so
Wait, can I ask you something before you jump in? So earlier you kind of commented on how you would date a narcissist who is aware they're a narcissist.
Yeah.
So in that kind of indicates that you think the awareness reduces the symptoms of narcissism or the behaviors and how it affects you?
Right. So if somebody is, and again, there's like data on this, that narcissism does have it has a stronger genetic component than we once thought.
Absolutely.
But there are certain forms of narcissism that are probably more so due to environment, even though that genetic basis is still there. But I think that if somebody is raised in a household where they're maybe more aware of their behaviors, so the way that I think of it is, this is going to sound complicated to you guys, but there are people that are taught that empathy may mean something, other than what it actually is.
Yeah.
And
what is that something?
So if you're one of these guys who thinks that they're going to that they need to rescue women or something like that women need to be saved.
Yeah.
And that, let's say if she is if she's, selling her body for sex,
she needs to be saved.
Then she needs to be saved and taken care of or something like that. Well,
continue. But
I don't know if that woman needs to be saved. I mean, maybe she does, maybe she doesn't. Either way, it's not really up to the guy.
So wait, you're
saying not really up to the guy to decide that for her. That's a boundary violation. So if he's just
what are you talking about?
He doesn't know what I'm talking about.
You're just yapping.
I'm yapping.
Make a cohesive
argument.
Articulate something.
I think that you don't understand what I'm saying.
No, you're just. I'm just
ranting.
I'm just
ranting. Okay.
To a completely different
So wait, back to the question that I had.
But I want to answer your question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Answer.
Oh my God.
Yes.
So we have genetics and we have environment. And environment, think of environment like the soil, and genetics is the seed. So the soil shapes. The soil shapes how the seed grows, right?
Can I pause you to speed this up a little bit? Everyone in my family is narcissistic. My mom, my dad, all three of my brothers.
Yeah.
So I kind of understand what's genetic and what's environmental. I know.
Tell us more about the soil.
I'm using a metaphor. That's all it is.
So what matters more, the environment or the genetic factor? Do you think if someone who comes from a long line of generational trauma is put into a foster care, foster home? No.
Brian's annoyed.
Okay. Well, we can move on, Brian. Sorry.
Bro, I'm asking her about her shirt.
That's true.
And I told you what a predator is in my mind.
Zigzagged
I have zigzagged
all over the place.
I agree.
There's a lot of zigzagging.
Okay.
What are you trying to communicate with your... I just don't get...
I'm trying to make fun of people.
Murderers, you can't hang out with me. What is that? Who? So? Of course, I don't want to hang out with murderers. Oh, murderers don't hang out with me. You think a murderer is going to... Oh, she's got the shirt that says, I don't like murderers.
You don't... That's
I'm going to stay away from her. No, if I'm a murderer, I'm going to be like, challenge accepted. You're tracking... These predators are like... That's the one.
So, and you're saying accepted. Right. You're describing exactly what I'm saying.
So then why are you wearing the shirt, lady?
Because
I want to be bait.
I want to be bait. Fishy. No.
Wouldn't a predatory person see that should be like?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like a guy who's aware that he's an arrogant guy. He's gonna see it and he's gonna just laugh. He's gonna be like, oh well, I wasn't. He probably wouldn't want me anyway.
So wait.
Because obviously I'm aware. But somebody who's not aware of their actions,
I am going to, you know what? I like the shirt. I'm going to put it on my merch store. I'm also, I just, 3 other t-shirt ideas came to my mind while we've been discussing this. Your t-shirt says, predators can't have any of this. I also am going to release a couple shirts on my merch store, shop.whatever.com. The sky is blue. The sky is blue. I don't know, what's some other, grass is green. And women are gonna nag you. Okay, that's what the merch shop is.
Awesome.
Anyways, I don't know why. Okay, all right. That's yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Are you a predator?
I might, you know.
It's reverse psychology. You
know what? You make a good point because when I was younger, I knew.
What the fuck?
You make a good point. I think some men would probably consider me if they probably consider me to be a predator.
When you were younger, men would think you were a predator?
No. So, let me let me explain. I don't know. I mean, there have been guys that have said that I've used them.
Why do they say that?
I don't know if it's
I don't know. It won't stop. It's not stopping. Wait, you were abusive?
I think maybe I was.
Did you hit a guy?
No, I didn't hit him.
You were verbally abusive?
No, I don't think verbally.
Financially abusive?
No.
Emotionally abusive?
I guess emotionally, yeah.
How did you emotionally abuse the guy?
Well, I've had a couple guys have said that, actually just one, basically, said that I used him for sex.
I told you guys, girls do that shit.
Not all women.
I'm telling you, bro, these girls are just out here trying to use men for sex.
But it was like one guy who said that, and he has like a very unstable background, so I don't know if it's just because
did you use
he has like trauma. Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, it's not like a personal thing, though.
You used him. You used him.
It's not a personal thing. I mean, I don't hate the person.
Would you want to be used sexually, Q? Like a woman just used you sexually?
Nah, I don't mind.
Yeah,
I don't mind.
It's not that big a deal.
Yeah. Have fun.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like
that's
what most men. That's how most men would react. Like they wouldn't even.
Have you seen American Pie? The film, yeah.
I saw one of them. I don't remember which one though. It's like
the first one.
Like
no, I haven't seen the first one.
At the end, Jimbo finally loses. I'm gonna spoil. Look, it came out 25 years ago.
You are dating yourself.
American Pie is like one of the number
2000. I know. It was like 5.
Jimbo finally loses his virginity to the this one time at band camp, band geek girl, and they hook up. They have sex. Prom. They weren't even really together. He just asked her to prom. They have sex, and then he wakes up and she's disappeared. And he was like, "Where'd she go?" And he was like, "Oh my God, I was used." I was used, and he was, I don't know.
Yeah, but
good movie.
But then you say that like, well, we could analyze the movie, but like Stifler's mom used that the other, what's his name? I don't remember.
Finch.
Finch, yeah. I mean, that
was a consensual. I'm pretty sure that was a consensual encounter.
Yeah, but he was like a young man, like.
Chick's a MILF.
Oh, there we go.
From the movie.